Have you ever paused, amidst the whirlwind of modern life, to consider how ancient wisdom might illuminate your own love life? Today, we embark on a captivating journey, not through dating apps or relationship advice columns, but into the profound perspective of Stoicism, a philosophy that, despite its ancient origins, resonates with startling relevance in our contemporary world. Imagine peering at your relationships through the lens of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, or Epictetus, titans of thought who grappled not only with the cosmos and the nature of existence, but also with the intricate tapestry of human emotions, desires, and connections. Stoicism, born in the bustling marketplaces of ancient Greece and flourishing in the heart of ancient Rome, wasn't just an abstract intellectual exercise. It was a practical guide to living a virtuous, meaningful, and ultimately, happier life. And surprisingly, it has a great deal to say about love, sex, and relationships. The Stoics believed that life should be lived in harmony with nature, recognizing the inherent order and interconnectedness of all things. This foundational principle extends to our emotions, suggesting that even the most powerful feelings, like love and sexual desire, should be understood and managed wisely. They are not to be suppressed, but rather, navigated with awareness, self-control, and a deep appreciation for their place within the grand scheme of things. Think of it as learning to sail a ship. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails to reach your destination. From a Stoic perspective, love and sexuality transcend the realm of mere fleeting passions. They are not simply ephemeral bursts of emotion or physical gratification. Instead, they present invaluable opportunities to cultivate virtue, exercise self-control, and, perhaps most importantly, to recognize our shared human nature. The Stoics emphasize the importance of seeing ourselves as part of a larger community, bound together by reason, compassion, and a shared pursuit of the good life. Approaching love and sexuality with this mindset transforms them from potential sources of anxiety and conflict into avenues for connection, growth, and mutual flourishing. Stoicism isn't about cold detachment or emotional suppression. It's about understanding the nature of our emotions and choosing how we respond to them. Regarding sexuality, the Stoics did not view it as a mere physical act, devoid of meaning or consequence. Rather, they saw it as an expression of the natural order, imbued with its own inherent purposes and meanings. It was a force that could be harnessed for good, fostering intimacy, connection, and the continuation of the human species. But like any powerful force, it needed to be understood and directed with wisdom and moderation. Consider the image of a river. It can be a source of life, nourishing the land and providing sustenance. But if left unchecked, it can also flood and destroy. Similarly, sexuality, when approached with awareness and intention, can enrich our lives and relationships. The significance of understanding this Stoic perspective lies in its potential to unlock deeper and more meaningful ways to relate to ourselves and others. By examining our beliefs and assumptions about love and sex, we can identify and dismantle harmful patterns of thinking and behavior. We can learn to cultivate healthier relationships, based on mutual respect, understanding, and a shared commitment to virtue. In other words, the Stoics offer us a lens through which we can see and understand love and sexuality within a broader context, one where self-control, respect, and mutual understanding are of paramount importance. Imagine stepping back from the immediate intensity of your emotions and observing them with a detached curiosity. What are the underlying assumptions driving your desires? Are you seeking validation, security, or something else entirely? By asking these questions, you can begin to disentangle yourself from the grip of your emotions and make more conscious, deliberate choices. So, if you've ever felt lost or confused about matters of love and relationships, or if you're simply searching for a fresh and profound perspective, join me on this journey through the world of love and sexuality through the eyes of the Stoics. Because although their words were formulated millennia ago, the lessons they contain are as relevant today as they were then, perhaps even more so in our increasingly complex and chaotic world. We live in an age of endless choices, instant gratification, and a constant barrage of media messages that often promote unrealistic and unhealthy expectations about love and sex. In this context, the Stoic emphasis on self-control, virtue, and mindful living offers a powerful antidote to the anxieties and disappointments that can plague our relationships. Now, when we talk about Stoicism, it's impossible not to mention the deep reverence this philosophy held for nature. But how exactly does this relate to our sexuality and desires? At first glance, the connection might seem tenuous. But as we delve deeper, we discover that the Stoic understanding of nature provides a crucial framework for understanding our own human nature and how we relate to the world around us. First and foremost, for the Stoics, understanding human nature was absolutely essential to living a virtuous life. They believed that we are born with certain inclinations and desires, instincts that are in their essence, neutral. What truly matters, according to the Stoics, is how we respond to and act upon these inherent drives. It's not about suppressing our natural impulses, but about channeling them in a way that aligns with reason and virtue. So, when we talk about desire, especially sexual desire, it's crucial to understand that it is not something to be rejected or seen as inherently negative. The Stoics recognized that these desires are a fundamental part of human nature, a powerful force that drives us towards connection, intimacy, and procreation. To deny or suppress these desires would be to deny a part of ourselves. However, what truly sets us apart, according to the Stoics, is how we choose to act based on those desires. It's about exercising self-control, making conscious choices, and aligning our actions with our values. But beyond the simple acceptance of desire as something natural, the Stoics viewed sexuality from a much broader perspective, a perspective intimately connected to the very fabric of the cosmos. According to their worldview, everything in the universe follows an intricate order determined by nature, a constant flow of causes and effects that governs all things. Think of it as a vast, interconnected web, where every element is linked to every other. Sexuality, in this context, is nothing more than an expression of that natural order. It's not just a physical act or a simple attraction, it's a manifestation of the will of nature for life to continue, to propagate, and to evolve. It's a fundamental driving force behind the survival of our species, a testament to the power and beauty of the natural world. This understanding of sexuality as something in harmony with the order of the universe leads the Stoics to see it as something almost transcendental. It's not just about fleeting pleasure or procreation, it's a way to connect with something greater than oneself, something that transcends the individual and links us to the grand tapestry of existence. It's about aligning ourselves with the rhythm and melody of the cosmos, participating in the ongoing dance of life and creation. Consider the analogy of a musical instrument. It can produce beautiful music, but only when it is tuned and played in harmony with the other instruments in the orchestra. Similarly, our sexuality, when understood and expressed in accordance with the natural order, can be a source of profound joy, connection, and meaning. Therefore, when addressing sexuality from a Stoic perspective, we are not just talking about individual acts or desires. We are talking about how these individual experiences fit into the grand canvas of nature. It is a constant reminder that we are essentially natural beings, deeply embedded in the world around us. Our desires and actions, even in the realm of sexuality, must be understood and addressed within that context. It's about recognizing our place within the larger ecosystem and acting in a way that honors the interconnectedness of all things. This perspective encourages us to move beyond a purely individualistic or hedonistic view of sexuality and to consider the broader implications of our choices. How do our actions affect our partners, our communities, and the world around us? Are we acting in a way that promotes virtue, compassion, and mutual flourishing? These are the kinds of questions that the Stoics would encourage us to ask ourselves. More importantly, at the end of the day, our sexuality, like any other aspect of our existence, is an opportunity to live in harmony with the universe and with ourselves. It's about finding a balance between our natural desires and our rational faculties, between our individual needs and the needs of others. It's about living a life that is both fulfilling and virtuous, a life that is in accordance with the principles of Stoicism. Think of it as navigating a complex landscape. You need to be aware of the terrain, the weather conditions, and your own physical capabilities in order to reach your destination safely and successfully. Similarly, navigating the complexities of sexuality requires awareness, self-control, and a commitment to living in harmony with nature. Have you ever heard the term, Stoic love? At first glance, it might seem like a contradiction, an oxymoron. After all, Stoicism is widely known for its focus on self-control, reason, and detachment, while love is often portrayed as one of the most intense and passionate emotions we can experience. Popular culture often depicts love as a whirlwind of emotions, a roller coaster of highs and lows, a force that sweeps us off our feet and leaves us utterly vulnerable. How can this seemingly chaotic and uncontrollable emotion possibly be reconciled with the Stoic emphasis on order, reason, and self-mastery? But here's where the true beauty and profound wisdom of Stoic thinking about love truly shines. The Stoics, far from renouncing love or dismissing it as a frivolous emotion, actually invite us to experience it in a deeper, more meaningful, and ultimately, more fulfilling way. They recognize the power of love to transform our lives, to inspire us to greatness, and to connect us to something larger than ourselves. But they also understood the potential for love to lead to suffering, disappointment, and even despair, if it is not approached with wisdom and awareness. Seneca, one of the most renowned and influential Stoics, famously said, "We don't avoid emotions, but we choose which emotions to follow." This is a crucial distinction, a call not to reject our emotions or suppress them, but to guide them, to direct them, and to cultivate the ones that lead to virtue and happiness. It is a call to cultivate emotional intelligence, to understand the roots of our feelings, and to make conscious choices about how we respond to them. The central idea here is not to be carried away by uncontrolled passions, not to be swept away by the tide of emotions without any sense of direction or purpose. Love, when impulsive and unexamined, can often lead us to hasty decisions, unhealthy obsessions, or even deep despair. We've all seen examples of this, both in our own lives and in the lives of others, relationships that start with a bang and end in a whimper, driven by infatuation rather than genuine connection. But when we approach love with Stoic wisdom, when we cultivate self-awareness and emotional intelligence, we can love deeply without losing our inner peace, without sacrificing our sense of self, and without becoming overly dependent on the approval or validation of others. This is what is often referred to as love without attachment, a concept that is frequently misunderstood. It doesn't mean lacking affection or caring for your partner, it means loving without clinging, without demanding, and without trying to control the other person. Think of it as holding a bird in your hand. If you hold it too tightly, you will crush it; if you hold it too loosely, it will fly away. True love, according to the Stoics, is about finding that delicate balance, that sweet spot where you can cherish and appreciate your partner without trying to possess or control them. It means loving without expecting anything in return, without trying to possess or control the other person, but simply appreciating their presence and valuing the shared moment. It's about celebrating the unique qualities that make your partner who they are, without trying to mold them into your ideal image. It's about accepting them, flaws and all, and recognizing that they are a complete and autonomous individual, just like you. And speaking of this profound understanding of love, it is impossible not to mention Epictetus, another towering figure in the Stoic tradition, who had some of the deepest and most insightful reflections on love and desire. He wasn't just a detached philosopher dispensing abstract theories, he was a man who had experienced hardship, loss, and even enslavement. His wisdom was forged in the crucible of adversity, and his words carry a weight of authenticity that is hard to ignore. One of his most iconic quotes, a quote that encapsulates the essence of Stoic love, says, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will have a tranquil life." This simple yet profound statement holds the key to unlocking inner peace and happiness in all areas of our lives, but it is particularly relevant when it comes to love and relationships. It's a call to embrace acceptance, to relinquish the need for control, and to find joy in the present moment. If we apply this principle to love, Epictetus is essentially telling us that instead of trying to shape the relationship according to our wishes, our expectations, or our preconceived notions, we should learn to love and appreciate things as they are, in their present form. This means accepting the impermanence of relationships, understanding that they may change, evolve, or even end, and still choosing to love anyway, without clinging to a false sense of security or certainty. It means recognizing that our partners are not perfect, that they will make mistakes, and that they will sometimes disappoint us, and still choosing to love them despite their flaws. It's about embracing the reality of the situation, rather than clinging to an idealized fantasy. Detachment, in the Stoic context, does not mean a lack of care or affection. It doesn't mean being cold, aloof, or indifferent. On the contrary, it means loving in a freer and more genuine way, unburdened by the weight of expectations, anxieties, and possessiveness. It means having the ability to enjoy the present moment without constantly worrying about the future, to appreciate the loved one without trying to change them, and to understand that true love is not possessive, but liberating. It's about fostering a relationship based on mutual respect, trust, and autonomy, where both partners are free to grow and evolve as individuals. In summary, the Stoics offer us a unique perspective on love, one that is deeply passionate but at the same time balanced and centered. It's a perspective that recognizes the power of love to transform our lives, but also acknowledges the potential for suffering if it is not approached with wisdom and awareness. It is a reminder that love in its purest form is a celebration of life, a celebration of our shared humanity, and a celebration of our connection with others. And when we experience it from this place of Stoic wisdom and detachment, when we cultivate self-awareness and emotional intelligence, it becomes one of the most enriching and transformative experiences of our lives. It's not about avoiding emotions or suppressing our feelings, it's about understanding them, guiding them, and channeling them in a way that aligns with our values and our goals. It's about cultivating a love that is both passionate and peaceful, both intense and sustainable, both fulfilling and virtuous. It's about creating relationships that are built on a foundation of mutual respect, trust, and autonomy, where both partners are free to grow and evolve as individuals, and where love is a source of strength, support, and inspiration. Imagine a garden, filled with a variety of beautiful flowers. The Stoic approach to love is like tending that garden with care, providing the right amount of sunlight, water, and nutrients, while also allowing each flower to bloom in its own unique way. Marriage and family have been fundamental pillars in many cultures throughout history, shaping social structures, transmitting values, and providing a framework for raising the next generation. But how did the Stoics view these institutions? What meaning did they attach to them, and how did they live them out in their daily lives? Their perspective, as with all things Stoic, offers a unique blend of practicality, virtue, and a deep appreciation for the natural order. To begin with, we must understand that for the Stoics, marriage was not just a union of two people in love, a romantic ideal celebrated in poetry and song. It was also a profound commitment to society, a social contract that contributed to the well-being of the community and the continuity of humanity. It was a recognition that individuals are not isolated beings, but rather, interconnected members of a larger social fabric. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor whose Meditations remains a timeless guide to Stoic living, mentioned that the act of marriage is a natural act directed toward the continuation of the species. He did not see it as a mere social convention, a set of rules and expectations imposed by society, but as an integral part of the cosmic harmony and the natural order of things. It was a way to align oneself with the flow of life, to participate in the ongoing cycle of creation and renewal. From this perspective, the duties and responsibilities inherent in a marriage were not seen as burdens, as limitations on one's freedom or autonomy. Instead, they were viewed as opportunities for personal growth, for cultivating virtue, and for contributing to the common good. It was a chance to practice self-control, patience, and compassion, to learn to compromise and cooperate, and to develop a deeper understanding of oneself and one's partner. Fidelity, mutual respect, unwavering support, and a deep sense of commitment were absolutely fundamental to the Stoics. These were not just empty words or social expectations, they were the cornerstones of a successful marital relationship, the foundation upon which a lasting and fulfilling partnership could be built. A successful marital relationship, in the eyes of the Stoics, was based on virtue, on mutual understanding, and on a shared commitment to working together to achieve a greater good, both for the couple and for the community as a whole. It was about creating a partnership that was not only fulfilling on a personal level, but also contributed to the well-being of society. Think of it as building a house. You need a strong foundation, solid walls, and a sturdy roof in order to create a structure that can withstand the test of time. Similarly, a successful marriage requires a foundation of virtue, respect, and commitment. When it comes to education and the upbringing of children, the Stoics had an equally deep and reflective perspective. They firmly believed that children are not simply small adults, miniature versions of their parents who need to be molded into a particular shape. They are developing beings, each with their own unique potential, who need guidance, love, and above all, good examples to follow. The Stoics understood that children learn more from what they see than from what they hear, that actions speak louder than words. Seneca, in one of his many insightful observations, said that, "Children learn more from what you are than from what you teach." In other words, the behavior and actions of parents are the first and most powerful life lessons for their children. Children are constantly observing their parents, absorbing their attitudes, their values, and their ways of interacting with the world. Parents who embody the principles of Stoicism, virtue, self-control, and reason, will naturally instill these qualities in their children. From this perspective, educating a child was not just about imparting knowledge, filling their heads with facts and figures. It was also about instilling values, teaching through example, and preparing them to face life with wisdom and resilience. It was about nurturing their character, helping them develop into responsible, compassionate, and virtuous individuals. Think of it as planting a seed. You need to provide the right soil, water, and sunlight in order to nurture its growth. Similarly, educating a child requires providing them with the right environment, the right guidance, and the right examples. The Stoics advocated for an education that cultivated virtue, self-control, and the ability to face adversity with serenity. They believed that these qualities were essential for living a fulfilling and meaningful life, regardless of one's circumstances. They understood that life is full of challenges, setbacks, and disappointments, and that the ability to cope with these difficulties is crucial for maintaining inner peace and happiness. They emphasized the importance of developing resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity, and to learn from one's mistakes. They also stressed the importance of cultivating a sense of perspective, recognizing that even the most difficult challenges are temporary and that they are ultimately part of a larger process of growth and learning. They believed that education should not just prepare children for a career or a profession, but also for the challenges of life. It should equip them with the tools they need to navigate the complexities of the world, to make wise decisions, and to live a life that is both fulfilling and virtuous. Consider the analogy of training an athlete. You need to develop their physical strength, their mental toughness, and their strategic thinking in order to prepare them for competition. Similarly, educating a child requires developing their intellectual abilities, their emotional intelligence, and their moral character in order to prepare them for the challenges of life. In conclusion, the Stoic view of marriage and family is a unique combination of commitment to nature, society, and oneself. It was not just about fulfilling roles or following conventions, it was about living according to principles that enriched the lives of individuals and the community as a whole. It was about creating a partnership that was both personally fulfilling and socially responsible, and about raising children who were virtuous, compassionate, and well-equipped to face the challenges of life. It is a vision that, though ancient, continues to have surprising relevance in today's world, offering a refreshing perspective on how to live in relationships and family responsibilities fully and authentically. It's a reminder that marriage and family are not just about personal happiness, but also about contributing to the well-being of society and the continuation of the human species. It's about creating a legacy of virtue, compassion, and wisdom that will extend beyond our own lives. And we must remember the wise words of Marcus Aurelius, who asserted, "What does not benefit the hive does not benefit the bee." This simple reflection invites us to view love and relationships not only from an individual perspective, but also from a collective one, reminding us that what is good for one should also be good for the other, and vice versa. It's about fostering relationships that are mutually beneficial, where both partners are supported and encouraged to grow and thrive. Seneca, on the other hand, advised us that, wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. In the context of love, this reflection invites us to treat our partner with kindness, understanding, and respect at all times, recognizing their humanity and their inherent value in our lives. It's about extending compassion, even when we disagree or when we are feeling frustrated, and remembering that our partners are also imperfect beings who are doing their best. It's about creating a relationship that is characterized by empathy, forgiveness, and unconditional love. It's about seeing the best in our partners, even when they are struggling, and offering them our unwavering support. Think of it as tending a garden. You need to provide the plants with the right amount of water, sunlight, and nutrients in order to help them grow and thrive. Similarly, a relationship needs to be nurtured with kindness, understanding, and respect in order to flourish. It's about creating a positive and supportive environment where both partners feel valued and appreciated. It's about fostering a culture of love and compassion, where kindness is the default response, even in the face of conflict. But how do we apply these profound insights to our current relationships? How can we translate the wisdom of the Stoics into concrete actions that will improve our love lives? Here are some practical ideas, based on Stoic thought, that you can implement today. First, value the present moment. Seneca reminded us that life is short, a fleeting gift that should not be taken for granted. Appreciate every moment with your partner, savor the simple joys of companionship, and resist the urge to dwell on the past or worry about the future. Live in the present, and don't let worries or expectations of the future overshadow your current happiness. Focus on creating positive memories, sharing meaningful experiences, and expressing your love and appreciation in tangible ways. Second, cultivate self-control. The Stoics believed in the paramount importance of self-control in all aspects of life, and love is no exception. This means not giving in to unfounded jealousy, anger, or resentment. These destructive emotions can poison a relationship, eroding trust and creating unnecessary conflict. Cultivate patience, and understand that everyone, including yourself, is imperfect. Practice empathy, and try to see things from your partner's perspective. Develop the ability to manage your emotions in a healthy way, and resist the urge to react impulsively. Third, embrace love without attachment. As Epictetus taught, we should not hold on too tightly to external things, as they are not ultimately under our control. This includes relationships. Love passionately, but always be prepared to accept any outcome with serenity. Understand that relationships may change, evolve, or even end, and that this is a natural part of life. Don't cling to a false sense of security or certainty, and don't try to control your partner. Trust in the process of life, and have faith that everything will unfold as it should. Fourth, cultivate communication. While the Stoics did not directly address communication in relationships in the same way we do today, they did emphasize the importance of wisdom and mutual understanding in daily life. In relationships, open and honest communication is absolutely essential to understand and be understood. Learn to listen actively, to express your needs and desires clearly, and to communicate with compassion and respect. Create a safe space where both partners feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and feelings, without fear of judgment or criticism. Develop the ability to resolve conflicts constructively, and to find solutions that work for both of you. Fifth, seek mutual growth. Love is not just about feeling butterflies in your stomach or experiencing fleeting moments of passion. It's also about growing together as individuals, supporting each other's personal development, and helping each other become the best versions of themselves. As Marcus Aurelius would say, seek what is beneficial for both, and foster mutual improvement in the relationship. Encourage your partner to pursue their goals and dreams, and offer them your unwavering support. Challenge each other to grow and learn, and celebrate each other's successes. Create a relationship that is not only fulfilling on a personal level, but also contributes to the growth and well-being of both partners. In the end, Stoic wisdom invites us to view love and relationships from a prism of authenticity, understanding, and growth. It's about cultivating a love that is both passionate and peaceful, both intense and sustainable, both fulfilling and virtuous. Although they lived millennia ago, their teachings remain a guiding light in the complex labyrinth of love in the contemporary world. Perhaps by embracing this timeless wisdom, we can find deeper, more meaningful, and more balanced love in our lives, love that is rooted in virtue, reason, and a deep appreciation for the natural order. Consider the image of a compass. It points us towards true north, guiding us through even the most challenging terrain. Similarly, Stoic wisdom can serve as a compass in the realm of love, helping us navigate the complexities of relationships and find our way to a more fulfilling and meaningful connection. Before we part ways, please confirm your subscription to the channel for more insights into ancient wisdom for modern living. Here are 2 videos that may be of interest to you, exploring related topics in philosophy and self-improvement. Thanks for watching. Take care, and see you soon.